Bear with me. This is the third take on the video. A little bit tired and a little bit excited at the same time. And when you got both of these two elements working together, they kind of tie up my tongue a little bit. So I'll try to slow it down just a tad. Speak English. Love this record by Lulu. Lost 45 by Lulu. Let's go to it right now. Billboard's Hot 100. May 4th, 1968. We got Lulu on here. Lost 45. Me the Peaceful Heart at number 67 that week in the spring of 1968 by Lulu. Some of the big hits that you might remember: U.S. Mail by Elvis Presley at number 31, Mrs. Robinson by Simon and Garfunkel at number 32, and Delilah by Tom Jones at 27, and we got La La Means I Love You. That was a big one back in the spring of 68 by the Delphonics. But let's go to this Lulu record, Lost 45, Me the Peaceful Heart. Guess who played on this record? And guess who wrote it? Mickey Most produced this record. He produced some of her biggest hits. I think he also produced To Sir With Love. And this was after she signed with Capitol Records. Well, first off, Jimmy Page played guitar. And John Paul Jones did the arrangements on this record. Produced by Mickey Most. John Paul Jones and Jimmy Page later became founding members of Led Zeppelin. Yeah, fancy that. Led Zeppelin just over the horizon. Led Zeppelin formed in 1968 from the New Yardbirds. But John Paul Jones and Jimmy Page did a lot of session work back in the 60s. They played on loads of records. But anyway, Lulu did a rousing. She only had two big American hits. Well, two big hits here in America. To Sir With Love and Oh Me, Oh My. Oh Me, Oh My. Powerful record. Lulu was graceful. She glided across that single. She just got beautiful on that record. And so she is on this record. This is a nice pop record by Lulu, coming in at number 67, Me the Peaceful Heart. She signed with Columbia Records. Oh, by the way, here's some trivia about Lulu you probably didn't know about. Lulu toured Poland with the Hollies in 1966. She was the first British female singer, female performer, to play live behind the Iron Curtain. Lulu had her own TV show in the late 60s, had a top 10 hit in England. She did a rousing edition of Shout. I don't know if I already mentioned that. That was back in 1964, the Isley Brothers classic, but was not a hit here in the U.S. And she did a song that was written by Neil Diamond that was top 10 for her in the 60s called The Boat That I Row, with the number 6 in England, according to my notes, and I wrote this down a few nights ago. Mickey Most, she teamed up with Mickey Most, but apparently she didn't get along with him. Read somewhere on Wikipedia from her autobiography, she found him cheap, just not easy to work for. But when he passed away a year later, this was in 2003, she praised him. Indeed, he was a big producer in England. I mean, this guy, he produced hits by Herman's Hermits, Eric Bird and the Animals, the Yardbirds, and Lulu. Worked with Lulu on about 6 or 7 records in the late 60s. Another well-known song by Lulu in Europe. If you're watching this video in England, you probably remember Boom Bang a Bang. She did that song. She represented England in the Eurovision Song Contest and won with that record, Boom Bang a Bang. That was in 1969. But let's go back to this record, though. I got to talk about who wrote this record. Now, I've already mentioned that Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones they played on this record. The guy who wrote this record, Tony Hazard. Tony Hazard, he wrote the song Ha Ha Said the Clam, which was a hit by Man for Man in England, but it was also covered by the Yardbirds as well. Gosh, I love both versions. Ha Ha Said the Clown. Well, he wrote that. He wrote that song. He wrote this song by Lulu as well, Me the Peaceful Heart. Tony Hazard did. Actually, Mickey Most came across this song by Tony Hazard and gave it to Lulu, Me the Peaceful Heart. Me the Peaceful Heart, though, although it was her 4th top 10 in England. Did very well in Britain for Lulu. Not so much here in the States, though. Peaked at number 53. It was on Billboard's Hot 100 for 7 weeks. It is stalled out that week of May 4th, 1968 at number 67. Still, though, it's a nice record. It's a lovely record. Add that to your collection. Another Lost 45. Lulu, Me the Peaceful Heart, on Billboard's Hot 100 back in the spring of '68.